So basically, the idea was that I was going to a lot of conferences. I was, traveling around and seeing people talking about the products that they work on. I was talking about Ubuntu. Carson was talking about Fedora. Zonk was talking about OpenSUSE. People were talking about all these different projects. And I noticed that no one was talking about how you actually build a community. And I've always been of the view that no one owns the privilege to build a strong community. Everybody has the right to do that, and everybody should. That's the way free software and open source works. So I just wanted to, I was kind of getting a little bit frustrated of the fact that I wasn't seeing people sharing their knowledge and their experience. So I put together the event last year to get people such as Carsten and such as Zonka and these other people who are traditionally in the commercial environment competitors, in a room where we throw the products to one side and we just talk about how we build a great community. So we did it for the first time last year, and it went pretty well. And I think the key thing is that the first thing is identifying the opportunity with community. So community is an amazing tool for change. I mean, we know it in many places. We see it with Facebook, and we see it with Wikipedia and Twitter, and we see it in open source. We see it with some of the green stuff going on. And I think the thing is we identify that groups of people on the same page, motivated by the same ethos, can do incredible things. And I think the key thing is, first of all, is identifying what can be done if we harness the right kinds of people. So whether you want to build a website, a resource, if you want to build, it doesn't really matter what it is. I think when you identify what the opportunity is, the skill is then knowing what ingredients and resources you need to harness to make that happen. So for example, if you're going to build a piece of software in open source, if you think, I want to build a multi-track audio studio, then you think, okay, well, I'm going to need some programmers, I'm going to need some documentation writers, I'm going to need some testers, some artists, and you kind of bang the drum and get people excited to be a part of it and share the vision. And I think having a vision is the most important thing. There's so many communities set up, and they're like, wouldn't it be cool? But they don't define a vision. They say, wouldn't it be cool if we built an audio editor? But they don't actually design it. They don't actually mock it up. They don't actually think about what it should do or what the infrastructure that it should use. That they just say, wouldn't it be cool? And I think when you define what you want to achieve, and you know what you need to achieve it, that's the first step. And the book, really, the first 2 or 3 chapters is about that. It's about formulating your ideas into a cohesive document that you can communicate to people. I mean, in the book I talk about the elevator pitch, which is, if someone came up to me and said, why should I get involved in Ubuntu? I should be able to reel that off in a minute. I should be able to take an elevator ride with someone. And if you can't do that, it means you haven't sufficiently articulated your thoughts, I think, to help make that clearer to people. The next thing is I think articulating what needs to be done to achieve it in a way that can be divided up. This is classic project management. Like, people I find who are really good at managing community are actually really good at managing projects. They think, okay, I need to get here. These are the things I need to do to get there. So a good example is the Community Leadership Summit. I mean, this is an event that is designed to bring community managers and people passionate about community together. Last year I did pretty much most of the work, but this year, I did a lot of the coordination. I organised a bunch of calls, but Van looked after some of the coordination of the evening events. Sarah dealt with the scheduling board. Dave dealt with a lot of the sponsors. Marcy helped with a lot of the resources and the supplies and getting the word out. We divided the workload up between us, so everybody knew what they had to do, and everybody knew when it had to be done by, and then that was a good step forward. Because I think the key thing is that where a lot of communities fall down is they don't achieve anything in a short period of time. And if you join a community and there's just a lot of this, a lot of people talking, and nothing seems to happen, people get bored and move on. The biggest threat to community are PlayStation 3s, because people get bored, they're going to go and play on their PS3. They're going to do whatever else is interesting to them. And so I think if you form a community, have a vision, split out the work between people, make sure that they know what they're doing, and then actually get achieving that at work and keep moving forward and doing stuff and showing off your progress to the community, it makes the community feel nimble and active and like it's going somewhere. And then people who are in the community feel like they're on a train. They feel like they're on a train that's going somewhere, as opposed to just stalled somewhere that's going nowhere. So.